Good morning, everyone. I call the House Committee on Transportation to order. Thank you for your patience as members are spending time in other committees, balancing their time with their own legislation and duties during this busy time of session, so thank you. We will start with taking attendance. Clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. We have a quorum. All right. So we'll start with our subcommittee reports. I know our subcommittee chairs have done an incredible job and are also doing incredible jobs on other committees as well and presenting their bills. So Delegate Sewell is currently in another committee. And so I'm asking if Delegate McQuinn, who is also on Subcommittee 1, would be willing to present the Subcommittee 1 report for us today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so Subcommittee 1, the Department of Motor Vehicles, House Bill 191, patron is Delegate Austin. And what this does, the motor vehicle dealer and seller franchise, it changes the deadline for a vehicle manufactured factory branch, distributor or distributor branch to reject the sale or transfer of a dealership from 30 days prior to the effective date of the sale or transfer 60 days from the receipt of the notice from the dealers of the proposed sale or transfer and lists requirement for such notice from the dealer. And the subcommittee recommend reporting with the substitute 8-0. And the substitute removes language regarding the tolling of certain deadlines. Madam Chair.
Thank you. So the subcommittee, there's a motion to recommend reporting or to report with substitute. Is there a second? All right, so moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn.
Right, Madam Chair and the members of the committee, House Bill 1080. The patron is Delegate Carr. And this one, license suspension due to driving during a period of suspension or revocation, period of suspension. It prohibits any license suspension due to driving during a certain period of suspension from extending beyond 10 days from the date of conviction for such violation. And the subcommittee recommend reporting 8-0.
Is there a second? All right, so moved and seconded to report HB 1080. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1084. The patron is Delegate Carr, and it extends from 6 months to 12 months the maximum duration for which the DMV may issue a temporary removable windshield placard to a person with a disability that limits or impairs his ability to walk or that creates a concern for his safety while walking. And the subcommittee recommend reporting 8-0. However, it needs to go to appropriation.
So the motion is to report and refer to appropriations. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1106, and the patron is Delegate Wyatt. This permits the recertification of independent dealer operators by passing examination administered by the Department of Motor Vehicle. And the subcommittee is recommending reporting this 8-0.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn.
All right, Madam Chair, House Bill 1107. is the Motor Vehicle Dealer Board examination cost, and it authorizes the Motor Vehicle Dealer Board to establish the cost of an examination of licensee records, which existing law requires the licensee to pay if such examination shows a violation of law or the order of the board. And the subcommittee is recommending reporting this 8-0.
All right, is there a second? All right, moved and seconded. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill report 16-0. Delegate Quinn?
Okay. Madam Chair, House Bill 1163, and is patroned by Delegate Sickles. It's the Department of Motor Vehicle Medical Review, and it changes the standards for being denied a driver's license or having a driver's license reviewed or revoked for medical reasons by removing language regarding the presence of a disability or the disease. The subcommittee recommend reporting with a substitute 8-0. And the substitute includes the existence of an impairment.
All right, so the motion made was to report with substitute. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn?
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1224, and the patron is patroned by Runyon. And this is the Department of Motor Vehicle and the fees. It reduces the fee for the issuance of an original, duplicate, reissue, or renewal special identification card without a photograph. Authorizes the Department of Motor Vehicle to negotiate with the Department of Health to retain a portion of the $12 fee for each copy of a vital record that the Department of Motor Vehicle issue in lieu of collecting the $2 processing fee required by law. And the subcommittee recommend reporting this 7-0. However, it does need to be referred to appropriation.
All right, so the motion is to report and refer to appropriations. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. The bill report 16-0. Delegate McQuinn?
Madam Chair, House Bill 1409, and is patroned by Delegate Reed. It's about the crash report and contracted service providers. It authorizes law enforcement agencies to utilize a contracted service provider to maintain and disseminate copies of certain crash reports as authorized by the law. The subcommittee recommend reporting with amendments 8-0, and then the amendments reflect that records are stored by the department.
All right, thank you. So the motion is to report and refer to appropriations. Is there a second? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, report with amendments. I'm sorry. I'm hearing words and I'm reading something off a whole other line. Report with amendments. And there's seconded. Clerk will open the roll. Thank you. Thank you for catching me. No. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 17-0. Delegate McQuinn?
Right, Madam Chair, House Bill 1454, the patron is Delegate Lopez, and is limit duration license and driver's privilege card and permits an expiration. And what it does is it extends the validity of limited duration license and driver's privilege card and permits from either the period of time of the applicant's authorized stay in the United States or 1 year, and number two, irrespectively to a period of time consistent with the validity of the driver's license, which under current law is not a period not to exceed 8 years, or for a person's age 75 or older. This has been, the subcommittee has recommended reporting with a substitute, 5-3, and the substitute excludes real ID and CDL license to comply with the federal law. And however, it needs to also report to appropriation.
Okay, so the chair's motion to
Madam Chair,
Delegate Austin.
I would like to ask a question to the patron, if he would answer, please.
Delegate Lopez?
Morning, Delegate. On your bill, do you anywhere require a path to citizenship for these individuals? I mean, if they're on a path to citizenship.
Okay, those are, Madam Chair, I would respond to the delegate. We're talking about two incredibly different things. The federal immigration process and our providing driver privilege cards are not, they talk about the same communities, but they're different processes, government processes. The fact is that we have a fundamentally broken federal immigration system that takes anywhere between 7 and 13 and a half years for someone to get just a green card today. In the late 1950s, it took 5 days to get a green card. How do I know this? My dad. It included a weekend. So the idea somehow that we're going to demand or somehow have an impact through our state legislature on the federal immigration process in a bill about driver privilege cards is, it's just, it's like an apple and a pineapple.
Madam Chair, follow.
Delegate Austin.
Madam Chair, Delegate, I'm not trying to say that we demand it. I just wondered if there was language in the bill that implied that you should be on a path to citizenship if you do this.
No, there's not that in there. At the same time, oh, sorry, Madam Chair. I apologize. I would say to the delegate, Madam Chair, that there's not that implication. But I will tell you that of the, 1 million plus immigrants in Virginia, which is 13.6% of the population, and of the 232,000 plus undocumented immigrants who are 84.9% of working age in the Commonwealth, who are doing a lot of the jobs that folks in Virginia need to have done, like farm workers, especially in rural areas, some of our janitorial staff, some of the folks who keep our economy running, they are desperately trying to become naturalized citizens. And so the idea somehow that we need to have another point or an implication in that is appreciated, but it's not lost on undocumented immigrants in Virginia from African countries, from Latin American countries, from Asian countries, from European countries, that they really, really want to be legalized in the United States. They really, really care about being a part of the American dream. And so I appreciate where the delegate is coming from, Madam Chair, but it's not in the bill specifically. It's in their hearts.
Thank you. Madam Chair, speaking to the bill, if I may.
Delegate Austin.
Madam Chair, thank you, Delegate. I appreciate that. And I fully agree with you on a lot of your comments. But I think if we're going to do something of this nature, we should send a clear message to these individuals who are here that we want you to become citizens of the United States. We want you to become a citizen. We're going to allow and permit you to do this, but we encourage you to be on a path to citizenship was my only issue and only concern with your legislation, Delegate. So I thank you.
Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Delegate Lopez. And I think they would like to be on that path as well, from what I heard the delegate say. So the subcommittee chair recommended, made a motion to report the substitute and refer to appropriations. Is there a second? All right. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports. Did everybody vote? I'm hearing it. Okay. We're waiting for one more. All right. Wards is not indicating on the screen, but Ward votes aye. Would like to be recorded as voting aye. You can, in which case the bill reports. I think the clerk can manually update.
Do it, yeah.
Okay.
I think. I'll do it manually. Yep.
So Ward votes aye, in which case the bill reports 10-8.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you, Delegate
Members of the committee.
Lopez. Appreciate. Okay. Moving on with the subcommittee report. Delegate McQuinn, HB
Yes.
1469.
Madam Chair, House Bill 1416, and it's patroned by Delegate Cherry. And this, it provides that the venue for a violation of the offense of obtaining documents from the Department of Motor Vehicle, the department were not entitled thereto, may be in jurisdiction, number one, from which any person obtained any document issued by the department, and number two, where any person received or created any counterfeit, forged, or altered documents. And so the subcommittee recommend reporting with an amendment 8-0, and the amendment allows for a venue where the documents are filed with the DMV.
Second.
Moved and seconded to report with amendments. Clerk will open the roll. Sorry, microphone's on. Report with amendments. All right, sure's working. Okay, everyone's voting board working. All right, the clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 18-0. Delegate McQuinn.
And finally, this will conclude the subcommittee report with this last bill, House Bill 1526, Delegate Sewell. This bill, patroned by her, the motor vehicle overweight permit for certain trucks operated by electric utilities, and it requires the Department of Motor Vehicle to issue overweight permits for an electric utility operation of vehicles used for the construction, the operation, or the maintenance of electrical facilities and infrastructure. Subcommittee recommend reporting with the substitute 8-0, and the substitute provides that the truck with such overweight permits are still subject to bridge and interstate weight limits. Madam Chair.
All right, the motion was to report with substitute. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Thank you for the subcommittee report, Delegate.
That concludes that.
All right,
Subcommittee
moving
one.
on to Subcommittee 2, Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are several bills that came out 8-0, and so I'm just going to talk about those all at once, and then ask all of them to be passed when we've gone all
If we
through.
could do those in a block?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
if the clerk is.
What are we doing?
So Chair Carr, because of the amendments, and it might be easier in this case today to do them one
Wonderful.
at a time,
All right.
because we do have some amendments and referrals, and I
Right,
think
okay.
that.
We'll go with that then. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate the
Effort, anyway.
effort, and it would be nice, but. All right, so Chair
All right.
Carr.
Madam Chair, first, HB 74 patroned by Delegate Reed. This bill clarifies that the improvement of non-surface treated secondary highways includes improvements other than paving as described in the bill. The subcommittee recommended reporting with amendments, and I so move.
With amendments. Okay, yep. All right, it's been moved and seconded to report with amendments. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill report 17-0. Chair Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next, we have HB 201, and this requires, rather than permits, the 4 members of the Northern Virginia Transportation Committee, the 2 members of the Potomac and Rappahannock Transportation Commission, and the 2 members of the Northern Virginia Transportation Authority, who are appointed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates, to be members of the House of Delegates. So the subcommittee recommended reporting this with a substitute, and I so move. Now, the substitute is technical because it incorporates HB 1173 and 1175.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Madam Chair, our next bill is HB 446, patroned by Delegate Williams. And what this provides that an airport has a lien on an abandoned or derelict aircraft defined in the bill or on its property for all fees and charges for the use of the airport by such aircraft and for all fees and charges incurred by the airport for the transportation, storage, and removal of the aircraft. So the subcommittee recommended reporting with amendments, and the amendment clarifies the definition of derelict and extends certain notice periods. This is what this subcommittee recommended, and I so move.
Second.
I do have Delegate Griffin on the request to speak. Delegate?
I apologize. That was for one of the bills that went by. I think I should press the button and then also speak up next time, probably. I pressed that on one of the previous bills.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry if I didn't see you. You feel free to, Madam Chair, if I don't call on someone. I'm trying to keep an eye on the board, but just in case, you're all welcome to get my attention. Okay, so that bill has been moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Madam Chair, the next is HB 793. The subcommittee recommended incorporating this bill, Delegate Henson's bill, into my bill, HB 1071. Do we need to have a voice vote on that?
Yes, it's a voice vote to incorporate 793 into 1071. There's been a motion. Is there a second? It's been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The bill is incorporated. Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The HB 915 by Delegate Srinivasan, the committee recommended continuing to 2025.
So, second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to continue HB 915 and to 2025. That is a recorded vote, so the clerk will open the roll.
Continue to 2025, okay. Yeah, continued. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Please cast your votes. Clerk will close the roll. The bill is continued. A vote of 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next bill is 1071. This is about the reduction of speed limits, local authority expanse. It's a clarification of a bill that was passed a couple of years ago, and the subcommittee recommended reporting with a substitute. And what the substitute authorizes that a locality can revert to the prior speed limit and requires notification to VDOT of a change in a speed limit. So the subcommittee recommended reporting with the substitute, and I so move.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Okay, clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 12-6. Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next is HB 1109, patroned by Delegate White. And this is about toll invoices and authorizing the use of a trackable correspondent equivalent to certified mail for sending invoices for unpaid tolls. The subcommittee recommended reporting this 8-0, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Chairman, HB 1173 and 1175 we've already discussed as they were incorporated into HB 201. Next we have...
So we'll need a voice vote to incorporate. So the motion, Chair Carr, is to incorporate 1173 into 201. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there a second for that motion? All right, it's been moved and seconded, and it's a voice vote to incorporate. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The bill is incorporated. Delegate Carr.
Thank you. HB 1391, patroned by Delegate Reed, is about the directing the Commissioner of Highways to evaluate ways to reduce tolls and implement distance-based tolling by transferring any roadway within the Commonwealth operated pursuant to the Virginia Highway Corporation Act of 1988 to the Public-Private Transportation Act of 1995. The subcommittee recommended reporting and referring this to appropriations, and there were amendments that were actually it doesn't need to go to appropriations with these amendments, is that correct?
Chair Carr, with the amendments that Delegate Reed has prepared, I'll turn the floor over to Delegate Reed to report amendments that he would like to add, and if the committee acts favorably on those amendments, then the bill would not need to go to appropriation. So Delegate Reed, would you like to present the amendments, ask the committee to consider?
Yes, if I could ask the council to share the amendment, please.
Council, could you report the amendment, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, the amendment is available, the amendments are available online, but I will report the amendments as well. On line 28 of the introduced bill, after shall, insert explore options 2. On line 28 of the introduced bill, after revenue, strike the remainder of line 28, all of lines 29 through 32, and through surplus on line 33.
Madam Chair, speaking to the amendment.
Yes.
So again, the question that was that came up during the subcommittee was a concern about this committee directing the spending of funds. And so what the amendment does is it takes that away and it provides guidance to the Commissioner of the Revenue and the Secretary of Transportation as they are negotiating that they shall explore options as opposed to being more directive. And that's the intent behind the amendment.
Delegate Austin, you have a question about the amendment?
Madam Chair, I do, and I appreciate Delegate Reed's listening to our concerns. This bill has been before us every year for a long time, and I'm going to probably vote no on this bill, and it's not because I do like a piece of legislation. I just don't think this legislation is in the posture that we need it to be in currently to advance it forward, and that's not because we've offered anything to Delegate Reed just yet. That's because we don't have exactly what we want to offer. And Delegate Reed and I have had that conversation, and he understands my position and posture on this bill. I support something that corrects our issue associated with the distance-based tolling and the Greenway. And I will support the bill at a further date if we get it in a posture that Delegate Reed and I have agreed to work toward. So, Madam Chair, that I just want to state my position. I'm not, because I put a no up does not mean that I'm against Delegate Reed's bill in its entirety. So thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. Delegate Reed, you wish to respond?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I really do appreciate Delegate Austin's input on this because I will say that when we had this last year, I mean, he was instrumental in being able to work with the administration to be able to move this forward. And he and I have worked on this and other issues for years now. So I appreciate his ongoing input on this, and I've committed to make changes as we continue to work through the process that we all know and respect. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate Reed. Do I hear a motion to adopt the amendment?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the amendment. That's a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right. So the amended bill is before us. In this posture, the bill does not need to go to appropriations. So do we have a motion on the bill? The committee did recommend reporting.
Second.
With amendment. Okay. It's been moved and seconded to report the bill with amendment. Clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 10-9. Delegate Carr, I do want to go back. I think we missed, because we were doing very similar numbered bills on the previous page. I think there's a voice vote that we need to take to incorporate on the previous page, HB 1175.
All right. So I moved that we incorporate 1175 into HB 201.
201, all right. So it's been moved and seconded to incorporate 1175 into HB 201. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, those bills are incorporated. Now we'll turn back to, I think, the last bill
Our final
on this
bill,
subcommittee
yes.
report.
HB 1425, patroned by Delegate Austin, has to do with the Uniform Statewide Building Code and the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority exemption. Exempts the railway tunnels and bridges owned by the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority from the Uniform Statewide Building Code and the Statewide Fire Prevention Code. So this committee, this bill, the subcommittee recommended reporting 8-0, and I so move.
And to refer.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm on the wrong one.
Motion's been made to report HB 1425. Clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. Gotcha. Okay, bill reports. All right, thank you for your work, Chair Carr, and your subcommittee, and I'll turn it over for
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Subcommittee 3, Delegate Reed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have one bill before us today, and that is House Bill 460 from Delegate Kilgore. And this establishes a new charter for the Cumberland's Airport Commission and repeals the current charter, which was created in 1958. We assessed this based upon a transportation perspective, and the subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to the Committee on County, Cities, and Town with a vote of 8-0, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. And this is report and refer, Delegate Reed?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
Report and refer to
Got it. Yeah,
CCT.
see it there. Perfect. The CCT. All right. Oh, I need to vote.
Oh, we didn't vote. Okay, we open it again.
Yeah, the clerk will destroy the roll. I
No,
was.
it's okay, it's all good.
Is it, okay, not, we,
Save it yet.
okay, it hasn't been saved. All right, everyone voted who wishes to vote. All right, clerk will close the roll. 19-0, the bill passes. Okay, well, I thank you all for the subcommittee's work. I do have a quick announcement. We do have a docket for Subcommittee 4, Delegate Glass's Innovation Subcommittee. We'll be meeting Friday, February 2nd in the Subcommittee Room South. The scheduled meeting that you'll see on the calendar posts this meeting at 3 p.m. It will meet at 3 p.m. unless appropriations adjourns earlier. So we're anticipating it will be the posted time 3 p.m., but it will depend on the adjournment of appropriations. So please keep an eye on that schedule. If there's no further business before the committee, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, committee's adjourned. Thank you for your work.